Okay,
All right.
doors are opening. We'll just give it a moment, let people get in the door. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Gail. Hi, Dorothy, Stephen. Give it a minute here and let our doors get open. It takes a second for people to get in. And then we'll get, wow, that was a tongue twister. We will get started. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. Makes me happy. Bright white from the sun. All right. Give everybody just a moment here. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and jump in. It's 10:01 and people can just come in as they join. My name is Candace Swick. If I haven't met you, I'm the marketing director here at Westminster Village, and this is Tuesday morning Village Chat. It's 10 a.m. and we're ready to go. We are in the middle of a really, I think, extremely beneficial series. This is the Ask the Moving Experts. We did this series a little differently last year, but kind of the same guest. We've just formatted it a little different this year and did it in some different order. But we have been really blessed the last 2 weeks. We had Meg Howlett and her husband with Team Howlett there with Shook Realty. We had the ladies from SOS, Danielle, come on and give us their expertise. And it's through the ladies at SOS that we have all of these different vendors that can come speak to us that help them. So today we have James Post with Hunt and Gatherer Estate Sales. And really excited to have him with us again. He joined us last year. It's fascinating stuff to me. You know, I would consider myself a hunt and gatherer personality. So I love the name of his company. And anyway, so we're excited to have him here today. Next week, we will conclude this series with Patrick Marley. He is with Schoolhouse Auctions. So we're going to get to hear. So we heard from Danielle all about the whole process of the downsizing. We heard from Meg with Shook Realty about how to sell your home, that whole process. Now, this is kind of the final steps in it is what do we do with the stuff? You know, what do we do with all the extra stuff? And the two most common ways that the ladies over at SOS recommend would be an estate sale or an auction. So we're really excited to get to learn more about that today. I'm going to jump right in because I want to leave plenty of time if there's questions. But James, can you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us, we want to hear about you. How in the world do you get into a business of estate sales?
Well, hi, everybody. Thanks for having me on today. Thanks especially to Rita and Danielle for introducing me to you folks and getting me on board here. It's great to be able to talk about kind of how we do what we do and why we do what we do. My wife and I have personally been going to estate sales and things like that for 25 years. When we bought our first house, we ended up going to the estate sale for the previous owner. The family had done an estate sale for the previous owner. The family basically had hired an estate sale company to come in and do a sale, and we bought some of the things from the estate sale and then kind of reintroduced them back into the same house that we were buying. So they lived on, got a new life in the same place that they lived for the last 40 years. But really, when we started the company a couple of years ago, it was a result of kind of feeling like there was a need in the community to help folks through what can be really kind of an overwhelming time in their life, whether that be somebody's moving from one side of the country to the other side of the country for a job relocation, or they're downsizing, moving from a 2 or a 3 or a 4,000 square foot house to an apartment, or just a smaller condo, or if somebody has a loved one that's no longer with us, and now the family is left to try to figure out what to do with all of mom and dad's stuff. That can be a huge, overwhelming feeling for people, but it's also a large undertaking when you think about all of the things inside somebody's house, especially if they've accumulated stuff for 20, 30, 50 years sometimes. Uh, all those things that are pushed into nooks and crannies and cabinets and drawers and closets and all of that. All of that stuff needs to have a home. You need to figure it out. And that's where we come in, because we can help people from start to finish. Basically, if we go in for a free consultation to talk to somebody, a lot of times we will tell them, stop organizing stuff, stop throwing stuff away, stop taking stuff to Goodwill. Let us take over. Let us just lift that burden from you, and we'll go through all of it. Obviously, and if there's family items that people want to keep, or if there's you know, personal papers and things like that, obviously, you need, that's a different story. But as far as just sorting through closets and drawers and cabinets, we do all of that for folks. But I kind of I kind of dove off sideways, but from how we got started. But that's kind of what we do for folks. We try to make it easy, basically.
How long have you been in business?
We've been in business since 2019. We did a little bit in 2019, 2020. If somebody would have said that I was going to quit my regular corporate job and start my own business during a pandemic, I would have told them they were crazy, but that's what we did. And it's worked out well. People have responded well, and we get a lot of good feedback for, you know, the things that we've been able to help folks with. And yeah, it's been an exciting 2 years, I guess.
Well, I know to get the endorsement of Rita and Danielle is big stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So if they've said that you're the best and you're who they call on, then by golly, you must be the best. So that's
Wow,
congratulations to that.
yeah. I rank in somebody's book, I guess, huh?
Well, it's high praise coming from them.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about this whole, can you break down the process for us?
Sure. If somebody thinks that they might need our services, you know, we kind of talked about the different things that might lead them to need our services. Somebody were to call us up, I would go and meet with them at the home, at the property. And during that initial consultation, we would kind of walk through and see everything that is needing to be in a sale. You know, whether that's a small amount of things or an entire state full of multiple outbuildings and a whole house, whatever it is, large or small, we would basically walk through all of that, kind of see what we have. I would try to take some pictures just so that I can have an idea of what all that we're talking about, and kind of explain the process to folks. During that initial meeting, we would talk about how my contract works. You know, we work off of a percentage of the total sale. So our vested interest in doing the best possible job that we can for our clients comes from the fact that if we don't do a good job, we don't make enough money to be able to continue to do what we do. So we would go through all of the items and kind of get an idea of the things that would be staying for a sale and the things that would need to be removed. Inside of our contract, we have what's called a removal date, and we would choose a date for the sale. And then we would choose a removal date at least 2 weeks before that sale date. We would call what we call a removal date. That's where everything that the family wants to keep, everything that they do not want in the sale, is removed. So whether you're moving or you're relocating or you're putting things in storage, whatever it is, we've had before where people will move the things that they're not having in the sale. They'll remove them to a different part of the house, and then we can close off that part of the house. If it's a bedroom or one side of a garage or something, and we close and lock that away so that customers can't get to it and that we're not messing with it when we're prepping for a sale. So after that removal date, it's important for us to know that everything that's available, everything that's left in a home is for sale, because that's when we're going to go in and start taking pictures for marketing purposes. We're going to start to organize and merchandise. We're going to research things. We're going to highlight things on whether it's estatesales.net, estatesales.org, estatesales.com. We've got a Facebook page. We've got an Instagram page. So we will put items for your sale out in, a wide variety of places to highlight, to try to generate interest, to generate traffic, get people excited for the sale. And over the course of hopefully at least 2 weeks, we'll get our shoppers ready for whatever we've got in the sale. But it's important to know that after that removal date, the things that we take pictures of are all fair game. They're all going to be in the sale, because we would hate for a shopper to show up first thing for a sale and be the first one in the door and want a specific item that we've taken pictures of, and then it's not there. So that's why we kind of put that removal date in and kind of stress that with folks that after that removal date, if we've advertised it, if somebody wants it, that's great. They can come to the sale and buy it, basically. But we talk about all those things in the initial consultation. And once we've kind of hashed out removal dates and sale dates and all of that and come to an agreement, have a signed contract, then that's when the family can step back and just let us take charge. We'll gain access to the house. And when the time comes, we will do it all. We will organize. We will bring in all of my equipment, tables, tablecloths, shelving, whatever we need to organize everything in the house. And when I say everything, I mean from pieces of furniture and art and collectibles down to that half-used bottle of 409 under the bathroom sink. We're going to sell all of it. So that's when I say don't take things to Goodwill, don't take things to the trash or whatever. I mean, let us handle it. There have been some times where we've been fortunate enough to go through a house and I can point out to folks and say, okay, well, yes, let's plan on throwing that away. Let's throw this away. Let's make this pile of things, and that can be removed from the house, because through the process, we will inevitably generate some trash. We'll generate some things that need to go away. We've worked with folks knowing when trash pickup day is, or family has come and taken trash away. We've worked it out where we've called like trash cans here in Lafayette, and they've got a service where they'll come and load up the trash in a box van and haul it away, which is important because we want to present, excuse me, a clean, well-organized sale for folks. And that goes a long way in the perception of our shoppers and the ultimate results of the sale. So if we can present a good, solid, clean, organized sale, people aren't stepping around trash. They know what we have for sale, how much it costs, and all of those kinds of factors go into the success of a sale. And that's where we go in and handle all of that. We actually encourage the family, our clients, to fully step back and let us handle it. My contract says that, once you've let us step in, it's kind of basically our sale. We are going to research how much something is going to be worth, what we're going to price it at. We are 100% in charge of pricing items. If a family member feels like there's something that is very valuable that needs a professional appraisal, we can do that and base our our pricing and things off of that. But for the most part, we are in charge of it. We see sale after sale after sale, how much something actually sells for versus what somebody feels like. You know, there's sentimental value, and sentimental value a lot of times it will cloud what something actually can sell for. And that really, when we get to the point of an estate sale, that's the ultimate goal, is to make everything go away, to sell it. I am 100% on board with folks if they feel like there is something that they are sentimental about. It's a family piece, it's something that their kids or their grandkids would like, or something that they feel like they would just be heartbroken if it didn't bring X number of dollars. You should keep it. Absolutely. Take that with you, keep it, you know, by your side, give it to your kids, whatever, because I'm not trying to sell your memories. We're here to try to provide a service, and the things that we're selling, I hope that our clients find some comfort in the fact that we're doing everything that we can to give those items another life, give them a chance to be enjoyed by another family for another number of years. So if you've got things that you really like, that you enjoy, that you know, that you feel have, whether it's monetary value or sentimental value, and it would be hard for you to part with it, keep it. Absolutely. So then once we've prepped an entire sale, we've got everything merchandised, we've advertised it, we've got all of it priced, we're ready for sale day. Again, that's 100% us, that we do not want the clients there, just because it can be very difficult. It can be hard to see people going through and manhandling your stuff, or mom and dad's stuff. So we say, we respectfully request that folks let us handle it. But sale day can come, and we've had as many as 100 people at a large estate waiting to get in on sale day to start shopping. And the first few hours of a sale can be almost like Black Friday, crazy shopping. We will have an entire crew there ready to hold things for our shoppers, put them in a hold area, create tickets to make the checkout process easy, help our shoppers find the things that they're looking for. And really that's where hunt and gather came into play. Our shoppers are going to hunt down their deals and gather up their treasures. And we do everything to help make that easy for our shoppers and make it as beneficial for our clients as possible. We're balancing two worlds there, trying to do the best possible job we can for our clients and take good care of their stuff, and merchandise and advertise and price it all at the very best levels. But then we also want to take good care of our shoppers so that they enjoy coming to our sales and they want to come back. They trust that we've done a good job of research and that the items that we have for sale are worth what we've priced them at, so that they'll buy them. We worked very hard at building a business model that will maximize the day one pricing of sales, because if you've ever been to an estate sale, inevitably, as the sale progresses, there will be discounts, because there's going to reach a point where you have to try to move, for lack of a better description, all the leftovers, all of those little items that weren't the featured things that people were coming and going for. There's going to be leftovers. For example, we say there's 3 things in every estate that we have trouble selling: coffee mugs, because everybody's got a bunch of them, vases, and picture frames. So things like just common, just regular items that everybody's got in their house already. Sometimes those can be hard to sell. So as the sale progresses, we will discount things. But we've done a very comprehensive business plan to try to figure out where to price things so that we maximize for our clients the day one pricing sales. And we typically will sell between 65 and 80% of the sale will come from day one pricing, which is phenomenal. I feel like that's a very good average with regards to how we're pricing things and how our customers are starting, our shoppers are starting to understand that if you see it at a hunt and gather sale, you should buy it when you see it. It's not going to be there when, you know, the last day of the sale comes and it's 50% off or, you know, whatever it is. But we will execute the entire sale, whether that be 1, 2, 3 days. We've done some where we've done, you know, 4 days actually. But whatever it is, we'll execute the entire sale. At the end of the sale, we will pack our equipment up and move everything out, you know, move all of our equipment out of the house. And then the question that always comes up is, what do we do with the leftover stuff? The stuff at the end of the sale that doesn't sell. We provide a multitude of different options. One is we can give you the contact information for Goodwill, Salvation Army, Millie's, Trinity Mission, Habitat for Humanity Restore, all of those kinds of things the client can contact and get rid of the rest of that stuff. They choose that option sometimes because after the sale, maybe there's family members that want to come back and go through and see if there's things they want to sort through and see if there's things they want to keep versus what they don't want anymore. So that gives them the opportunity to be able to do that. The other option that people will a lot of times take is because by this time they're conceded to the fact that they want it all to go away. They want it to be gone. I have a couple different contacts of some folks who will do a clean out. So at the end of the sale, I will give them contact information and I'll, you know, touch base with these clean out folks and let them know that clients are going to call and have them come to clean them out. And basically at that point, they will take everything that's left with the exception of used mattresses, tube TVs, and bags of trash. But they'll clean everything out. These folks have dollar booths at Trader Bucks or will do the flea market circuit, will sort through things and put things on, you know, different, you know, Facebook Marketplace or something like that. So they come in and their pay is the stuff. You know, they don't charge to come and take it away. They don't pay money for the items. They are there to make it all disappear. A lot of times people will choose that option because, like I said, they're already at the point where they know that that's where they want to be, want to make it empty. So then at that point, you know, we've completed our obligations under the contract. We've conducted the sale. We've collected all of the money for the sale. Within 10 days, I will put together a report. We can see like a breakdown of kind of different categories, you know, how many items we rang through as decor or kitchen or garage, those kinds of things. And the entire sale proceeds, then I will take my percentage out, and out of my percentage, I pay all of my labor. I pay all of the advertising costs, you know, all of the incidental things, like if I have to make a run to Staples to buy more tags or, you know, whatever it is, you know, all of that stuff comes out of our percentage. The only thing that might come out of a client's percentage, which we would talk about during the execution of the sale, is if we need to contract somebody to come in and take away trash. That would be that would be an example of something that we would not pay out of our percentage. More than happy to contact the trash, have them come out and do it and pay for it, but then I would deduct that from the client's, end total. But for the most part, it is probably 85% of the time, it is straight, here's the sale proceeds, here's my percentage, here's your percentage, and I will get a check in the mail and give you a breakdown of the sale. And at that point, hopefully I've done a good job and you give me a good review and let other folks know that we did a good job and we move on. So that's kind of the whole shooting match in a nutshell.
Yeah, that was a really good breakdown. I have a question, and if
Sure.
anyone else has a question, now is the time to get those questions typed into the Q&A box. Is there a set percentage? How does that work? How are the fees determined?
It basically is on that first visit, we'll go and look, and it can be a percentage that is, it varies on how big the sale is, how small the sale is, how clean the house is, how dirty the house is, how much junk is there. If it's a sale that's going to take a lot of labor to sift through and really dive in and take a long time for us to prep that sale, I have to kind of consider that when we're going into the thing. Now, the next question, I'm sure, is going to be, what is the percentages, right? We are typically between 40 to 50% of the total sale. And I always, when I'm talking to a client, I will see sort of the look on their face when I say that percentage, and they think, oh my goodness. The thing that I would say with regards to that percentage, and I've never had a client at the end of it say, wow, I still don't understand why your percentage is the percentage that it is. Everybody that says something says, wow, I understand now why it is what it is. Say if we're at a 45% sale, so I get 45% and the client gets 55%. That can seem like a lot on my end, but I think that the difference with an estate sale that goes through an entire estate from start to finish and looks at every item, like I said, from your best pieces of furniture and art and collectibles to that half-used bottle of 409 under the counter. We're going to go through and put a price to everything. If it's not screwed to the wall or bolted to the floor, we're going to sell it if we can. And that's where an estate sale really shines in all of those little things. During a consultation, folks will inevitably walk through the house and they will point out, oh, well, this is, this sofa is, only 2 years old. And this, this table came from the East Coast in 1950 or, whatever it is. And they'll point out the larger items, they'll point out the furniture, they'll point out the things that are eye level that they see and think about on a daily basis. In reality, the benefit of an estate sale comes from all of those little things, those little nooks and crannies, all of that stuff that's in drawers and cabinets and closets. We will take a kitchen and completely dismantle a kitchen. Every single thing comes out of the cabinets. It comes out of the upper cabinets, the lower cabinets, the drawers, everything. We'll go through that junk drawer and we'll kind of pick out things out of that junk drawer and put them into baggies. And, here's your pickle forks, and here's your, used matches and lighters or whatever for cooking on the grill, and separate all that stuff out and put a price to all of those things. And And that's where an estate sale really shines. And that's where, if we've done a good job of marketing and advertising and pricing all of these items, a client getting 55% of $100 is much better than getting 75% of $50.
True.
So in other forms of sales, whether that be, hey, we're the family and that's too big of a percentage and we're going to take this on ourselves and we're going to price everything. A lot of times what ends up happening is folks, one, they don't realize how big of a job it is.
Mhm.
And two, they're inevitably going to be putting on, for lack of a better description, a garage sale. And a garage sale carries a different gravitas from an estate sale. At an estate sale, you expect a certain level of professionalism. You expect a certain level of difference in how things are merchandised and priced and so on and so forth. And that gives the shoppers the understanding that, hey, you know what, this stuff has been gone through. Somebody's looked at this. They know what it is and what it sells for and so on. How many times have you been to a garage sale and you see something for $10 and say, well, you take 5? And they'll say, yeah, I guess. So, you know, that's where if I've got something priced for $10, I'm going to sell it for $10 because I'm going to have 40 other people who look at that. And if you don't want to buy it for $10, I'm confident in the work that we've done and the marketing that we've done and the pricing that we've done, that somebody's going to want that for $10. And I can't tell you how many times a shopper has tried to convince me that my price was too high, and somebody maybe even heard them talking about it. And as soon as they set it down, they swooped in and grabbed it. And that's kind of the difference in an estate sale, properly put together and executed, versus a garage sale or, you know, I mean, Pat's going to talk next week, and there are definitely benefits to auctions. And I've seen estates before that I've recommended would be better for an auction. The difference between an estate sale and an auction is that in an auction setting, the auction company is going to come and they're going to choose the things that they want to take. They're not going to put a price to that half bottle of 409 probably. Or if they do, they're going to take that and they're going to put that in a big old tub, and somebody's going to buy that whole thing, buy, you know, 40 used chemicals in a box lot for $1. So those box lots things that can really drive the total dollar amount down versus an estate sale. So if an estate sale is advantageous for somebody, there is a lot more upside potential on that. An auction, the thing that an auction will accomplish will get all of that stuff out fast, and it will be, and it'll just be done. You might probably won't get a whole lot for it, but the auction company will come in and they will just take it all. That appeals to some folks if they really don't want people in the house. I will say that our shoppers, by and large, are very respectful. We have, you know, put down plastic adhesive stuff to protect carpet and walkways. We've had before where it's a really pristine, clean house, and we require our shoppers to put little booties on before they enter the house. You know, so we do what we can and what we need to preserve the house. So that's not really a lot of times a big obstacle, but sometimes people have time frames or they have deadlines that require all the stuff just to go away, and it almost doesn't matter what it brings. If that's the case, and it's not something that I can help with, absolutely, I would recommend an auction service would be the other option. But if it works timeline wise and it is beneficial for the client, for the family, an estate sale is a great way to try to help make all of that go away, take the burden off of the family, let them keep on keeping on with their lives, or move into their next chapter or whatever it is that they're doing, and we just take care of it. So
very good. Well, thank you for such a thorough explanation.
sure.
You know what? I think all the questions have been so well answered. We don't have any more. So that's awesome. If you
Awesome.
think of any questions, though, I will be happy to include James's contact information, their how to reach them, and I will include that in our follow-up email to all of the folks who came in. Let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. We have a question. How do
Perfect.
you handle collectibles like a set of dolls?
Okay. A lot of times specific collectibles, if they have good resale, we will research those things individually and price them accordingly. If they are a collection of things that folks have collected because they enjoyed collecting them, we do our best to try to gently help folks realize that a collection maybe is the value in that collection is the fact that they enjoyed collecting it. Precious Moments, Boyd's Bears, Beanie Babies, die-cast NASCARs, all those kinds of things. Folks collect and they love collecting them, and they have, vast collections of things that they're proud of. And that's awesome. If they enjoyed collecting it, they enjoyed hunting certain ones down and finding them and adding them to their collection. That's where the value is. We will get as much value as we can, but yes, if it's a specific collectible that has resale value or collector's market value, we will research that and find the best possible outlet. So we'll go to different groups on the internet and advertise our sales there. We will regionally feature. We had one estate that had a great collection of antique lamps, lighted fixtures, whether it be ones that hung from the ceiling or table lamps or floor lamps or whatever. A great collection of some antique lamps, some beautiful lamps. We regionally featured that, and were able to successfully then sell a lot of those items to folks that we had somebody come from the other side of Ohio specifically for those lamps. We had somebody come from Chicago specifically for those lamps. So we will do what we can to find the buyers, the people that would be interested in that collection, and let them know, we have it. It's going to be for sale. This is where it's at. This is when it's happening, and get here early if you want the best choice. So
very cool. That's encouraging to hear too. I mean, you really put a lot of work and effort into it.
absolutely.
So, anyways, wow, that was so good. Thank you so much. We are running a bit behind, but Trisha, you have some updates for us, and we'll get everybody on their way.
Thank you to all that came out last week for our Valentine's Day drive-through fundraiser. We beat last year's donations by over $1,000, so thank you. Have you gotten your copy of the Village Chatter? We are open to visitors. The pub is open to visitors on weekends, and a little birdie told us that we will be opening in the near future for lunch daily. So stay tuned. They have a new menu, and check it out on our website under dining. Do you like Village Chat in Westminster? Please leave us a review on Facebook or Google.
Thank you, Trisha. And yes, I second that. Leave us a review on Google or Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us. We do have another comment here in the chat. James, if we could answer this really quick, because we're 10 minutes over, but let's see what you have to say. They're asking about the buyer, and it's funny, I actually thought this same one, the buyers carolers. Are you familiar with them?
The buyers carolers.
I
Uh,
actually collect those. I think
The
that's
little
interesting.
figurines where they
Yeah,
look
and
like
they're
singing.
caroling,
Yeah.
and they run between 70 and 100 a piece.
Okay. Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
curious. Yeah, I'd be curious too. Do they have a resale value, or is it just the joy of collecting?
it's a little bit joy of collecting to some extent. Those carolers are going to be kind of like Hummels, or something like that. That they definitely cost decent money when you buy them new. Some of them have good resale value. Right now, willow tree
Mhm.
angels and little willow tree figurines are pretty popular. They don't bring a whole lot of money, but I know they're all going to sell by the end of the sale. Carolers are very similar in the fact that, especially towards the holiday season, that they'll be more popular and they'll sell. A lot of people aren't thinking about carolers in the middle of July, but if there's a collectability to them, yeah, we'll look to see what they're selling for, and yeah, and that can be nationwide, and we kind of take an average and kind of price according to that.
Interesting. Well, thank you so much. We so appreciate your time. So next week, Patrick Marley with Schoolhouse Auctions. We will close out this series with that. Don't forget the participation prize for this series is a gift card to Wright's Floral Shop. It's Valentine's month of love. Who doesn't need flowers? And it's cold and snowy, so you really need flowers to brighten your day. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. We will see you next week, and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.